Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom. Okay, so I want to get into a lesson starting off in Daniel, the 12th chapter and the first verse. So Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson to the elect. So I'll go ahead and I'll get straight into it. This is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up. And this is speaking about Michael the archangel. Okay, continuing on. The great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. That's right. In that time of trouble that is going into is the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, we understand that it's going to be worse than anything that we ever been through, man. Okay, it's going to be worse than slavery. Okay, it's going to be worse than any captivity that we ever been in, man. Okay, that's how bad it's going to become out here during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, continuing on. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. That's right. Who are the ones that's going to be delivered? The elect. Okay, continuing on. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. That's right. And we understand that the elect will be found written in the book of life. Okay, so we understand that the elect will be protected and delivered when the Lord returns. Okay, we know that the elect will be beamed up into the chariot and they'll be able to see the destruction of America, which is Babylon the Great, from the chariot. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll get what else I had. I'm going to get this in Zechariah, the 14th chapter, and I'll start at the first verse. Okay, this is Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and we understand that the day of the Lord is coming. Okay, we understand that the day of the Lord is near. Okay, continuing on. And thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. That's right, man. We understand during the time of Jacob's trouble, it's going to be like every man for himself out here, man. Okay, the scripture goes into it in Matthew, the 24th chapter, about how the love of many shall wax cold. Okay, we understand there's going to be people that's going to get their resources took right up off of them, man. Okay, we understand that these are the things that's going to be going on during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, and we're constantly warning our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, of the things to come, whether you hear or forbear. So let me get a quick precept, and I'll come back to Zechariah, the 14th chapter. I'm going to get this in Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, and I'll start at the 7th verse. This is Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. And we understand that the watchmen are the prophets. Okay, continuing on. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth. That's right. And we understand that the Lord speaks through his prophets. Okay, we're not speaking our own words. We're speaking the words of the Lord. Okay, continuing on. And warn them from me. That's right. It says, and warn them from me. And that's exactly what we're doing. Okay, we're telling our people that's the Lord that's bringing these plagues upon this place, man. Famine, pestilence, a sword. Okay, we're seeing all these things, but we understand that it's going to escalate heading into the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, so let me go ahead and get that back in Zechariah, the 14th chapter. Okay. And I'll start back at the top. This is Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. Verse 2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken. That's right. It says, and the city shall be taken. And we understand that during the time of Jacob's trouble, okay, we know that martial law will be declared. We know there's going to be troops in these cities. Okay, we know there's going to be checkpoints throughout these cities. Okay, we know that America, which is Babylon the Great, is divided up into 10 different FEMA regions. Okay, you're not going to be able to move around as freely as you was once able to, man. Okay, we understand that these are the things that's going to be going on during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, continuing on. And the house is rifled. That's right. And the house is rifled. Okay, so we understand there's going to be people that's going to get their doors kicked in. Okay, getting their goods took. Okay, these are the things that's going to be going on. Okay, continuing on. And the women ravished. That's right. It says, and the women ravished. So we understand that it's going to be women that's going to get raped, okay, during the time of Jacob's trouble, okay? And we're constantly warning our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, of the things to come, whether you hear or forbear. And when you look at a lot of these women are extremely proud out here, man. Okay, a lot of these women are extremely disrespectful. Okay, a lot of these women heavily support feminism. Okay, a lot of these women speak against men. Okay, we understand that a lot of these women are extremely proud, man. Okay, but we know that it's going to be a lot of women that's going to get raped during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, a lot of these women out here are going to be looking to get with a man of the Lord. Okay, we understand that the scripture goes into it about how a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind. Okay, and that's not any man, that's a man of the Lord. Okay, continuing on. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity. That's right. So we understand there's going to be some people, okay, that's going to get put into these concentration camps, okay, get put into these prisons. Okay, that's what's going to happen during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, continuing on. And the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. That's right. So we understand that it's going to be some left. Okay, so we understand that these are the things that's going to be going on during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, but we understand that the elect will be protected and ultimately delivered, man. Okay, we know that it's going to be a standard that's going to be lifted for the elect. So let me go ahead and get what else I had. I'll get this in Isaiah, the 59th chapter. Okay, and I'll go to the 19th verse. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. Okay, and what's over here in the west? America, which is Babylon the Great, is in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, continuing on, his glory from the rising of the sun, and we know that the Lord will be reverenced throughout the earth. Okay, continuing on, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. And who is the enemy? Esau, Edom. Okay, Esau, Edom, and his military. Okay, we understand that they're going to come in like a flood. Okay, but what's going to happen? I'll continue on. The Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. That's right. So we understand that it's going to be divine intervention. Okay, we understand that the Lord will make a way for his elect to escape. Okay, we know that it's going to be some brothers, okay, that's going to receive spiritual power, man. Okay, very soon that's going to be able to get busy on you damn devils, man. Okay, we understand that it's going to happen, man, but we know there will be a standard that will be lifted for the elect. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll get what else I had. All right, let me go to Romans. All right, I'm going to get this in Romans, the 9th chapter, and I'm going to go to the 27th verse. This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 27. Isaiah also crieth concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea. And if you ever been to a beach and you look at all that sand, you can't count all that sand, man. Okay, so we understand that our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, are innumerable. Okay, continuing on. A remnant shall be saved. That's right. So even though we understand that our people are as the sand of the sea, okay, we understand that only a remnant will be saved. Okay, speaking about the elect, okay, we understand that when the Lord return, the elect will be beamed up unto the chariot, and they'll be able to see the nuclear destruction of America, which is Babylon the Great, from the chariot. Okay, but we know 2/3 of our people will be cut off here in America, which is Babylon the Great, man. Okay, we understand that all our people won't get delivered out of this place, man. Okay, even though the scripture goes into it in Romans chapter 11 and verse 26 about how all Israel shall be saved as it is written. Okay, so we understand that all our people will be saved. Okay, but we know that the wicked of our people, they're going to come back through the loins of the elect in the kingdom of heaven as newborn babes. Okay, that's how all our people will be saved, man. Okay, but we know before this place is destroyed, we know that the Sea Hip, which is the MOTB, has to be made mandatory, and it will be made mandatory. You won't be able to buy or sell without taking that CHIP. But if you take it, you will be destroyed. We're constantly warning our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, to not take the CHIP, which is the MOTB. If you take it, you will be destroyed. Okay? So with that said, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the elect. And I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.